Welcome to Transfer News, Sam. Welcome to Leicester Fan TV, of course. Well, big announcement, hopefully, in the next coming days or even hours. Khannouss from Genk for £20 million, as reported by Fabrizio Romano, as you can see here. Leicester City agreed deal to sign Khannouss from Genk, huge talent to join Leicester, not Leicester Fan TV, on the £20.5 million package deal. Sell-on clause 15% included in reports. Deal to be set and signed and sealed. Sam, what do you take of this? He is a cam. He is a huge, talented, star boy in a way, from what people are saying. Yes, his stats doesn't kind of say what he kind of can prove it, for how young he is. But what is your kind of take on this guy?
I'm happy that we're making a bit of business that's better. I think it's a better transfer than some of the players we've been linked to. I think it's better than some of the players, that we've got at the club. And I think it's a healthy competition to have in and around the team. Obviously, it'd be great to get your guys' comments and views in on the transfer. We definitely still need a striker to come into the club, and obviously the window ends. It's Wednesday today. I'm losing track of the days already. We definitely need a striker to come in by Saturday, because I believe that's the end of the window. I'm fairly happy with this signing. I know that a lot of fans, we'll have a look at the comments. I've mentioned why not put Will Alves up there. But if, Will Alves has never played football before and he's the same age pretty much as this guy, who's clearly rated enough that he's going to cost us €20 million plus a 15% add-on when we sell him on.
I think he's one that, as much like I said, we've looked at his stats. It's not the most impressive, but people have been saying how really overrated. No, not overrated, but how good he can be and how good he could be in the future. So again, that's why they want a 15% price for when he does get sold on.
His stats of people are raving about him. Fabrizio said, he's definitely one to watch for the future, and we'll see what he could do at Leicester. He's got some good, when we say stats, you look at his goals and assists, and he's got 12 goals and assists in about 40-odd games last season for the team he played for, which, is okay for an attacking midfielder. It's nothing special, but, you look at the other stats, like you say, I know expected goals and assists come up, but I hate that stat because it's a fake stat. It doesn't mean anything. But I think, like I say, maybe a little bit of a panic buy, really. Obviously, we've been linked to a lot of players we saw in the window over the past 2-3 weeks. I think I saw a post today, and there was about 10 players who have just completely fumbled.
Well, there was the likes of, in this particular role, Sula, Hojek. I don't know if he was in between a cam or striker, but he was in that role as well. Zaha again could play in that 10 role. But this guy, from what it sounds like and what we've seen, it looks like we're all but done. The medical is apparently today as well, so we'll hear tomorrow. But as you can see, I think someone who said in the comments, who have we signed? We've not signed him yet, but as you can see on the graphic now, Fabrizio did say the deal he's signed for Khannouss from Genk, huge talent to join Leicester for £20.5 million. On a package deal with obviously 15% sell-on clause, which again with the sell-on clause, Sam, it must show intent from them to know that he will be something good in the future, surely.
Yeah, €20 million, good. It's quite a lot of money, isn't it, for a 20-year-old? Assume he's been brought up through their academy in some way, shape, or form. So they're making a pretty penny, and if we go on to sell him for 60 million, 10% of 60 million, I'm trying to do maths, it's like 10 million, isn't it? They're going to make a good amount of money on him for that kind of profit. And it's one of those things where we've got to. I think we've been our philosophy is we don't bend over for some of these players. We've seen a lot of players come in and a lot of players linked to us over the window, and we just don't, like you say, we don't offer these packages. And I think we're panicking now, but we're like, 15%, whatever. We need someone. We do need an attacking midfielder. Buonanotte, very good against Spurs, very quiet against Fulham.
But he needs competition.
He needs competition. And, we need players in that position. We can't just rely on a 19-year-old from Brighton who's on loan to...
But then we're going to rely on a 20-year-old.
Well, it's just ages. Like I say, age doesn't mean anything really.
No. If you're good enough,
it's more about, like I said, if there's no one to challenge him for his position, and like we've seen against Fulham, it was just a mess. We put Ndidi in that attacking midfield role, and he was just lost. There was no creativity from the start really against Fulham, and then as soon as we changed it around, there was definitely extra no creativity. So I think we do need to sign these players that will get us goals and get the ball going a bit more. For me, we just have to play it through the middle of the park a little bit more. Like I said, if we're going to sign him for £20 million, we've got to play it through the middle a lot more. We've just not done that so far. Good result last night, obviously, against Tranmere. Hopefully we can see this player come in time for Villa. There you go. And like I say,
if he gets announced tomorrow, he should be available for Saturday. There's a few people saying the window closes on Friday instead of Saturday because it's on the 30th, I think, not the 31st. Kean said he's happy with a cam, so we needed it, but we now need a striker. Again, we were saying about when Skip came in, saying it was a bit of the wrong positioning of who came in. If we brought this El Khannouss guy in before Skip, and then a striker before Skip, and then Skip came in, we would have been like, fair enough.
I think it would have been a bit more confidence from the fans.
But now the only position now we're left with is the main position. So
it's the position we know we've needed for a long time. With Cannon looking like he's going to depart, obviously now that we've brought Ayew in, who can play in that versatile role. I hope the club doesn't think Ayew is going to be the out-and-out striker. He had a good game yesterday. I'm not knocking him for that. I think he was a pretty decent signing for us from the get-go. But I do think we need a prolific out-and-out striker for when Jamie Vardy's not fit, or for when he's tired, because it's going to happen at some point in the season where he's going to get a knock or he's going to be a bit too tired, especially, like over that Christmas period where there's 2 games a week trying to slot in. You've got a game on the 20th to the 23rd of December, and then you're playing a game every 3-4 days after that just to squeeze them in. God knows why it's like that, but it's definitely going to be a struggle if we don't have anyone to come in. And Daka, obviously, he's going to be out injured. He wasn't that much of a threat anyway, let's be honest, but it's better than not having him, I guess. It's struggled to say that, to be honest with you, but it is true, Well, we're lacking strikers at the moment.
Out of all the players now we've brought in, we've kind of bolstered the team in most areas now. Obviously, with Buonanotte in the cam role, this guy in the cam role as well. We've obviously got Skip now to cover Ndidi or Winks in that role.
Yeah.
You've obviously got an EU who can cover the striker position or the wing position. And like Kean says now, surely we only need to hear about a striker signings now. We've kind of bolstered most of the areas. Surely now this is the last area we need to bolster.
I think you would have heard it already. My concern is I don't think we will sign a striker. I think the club's just going to say we've got what we've got. We've splashed a lot of money, really, and this is an interesting topic. We've wasted 20 million on Ockley and Golding. I think we can all agree that we spent.
I think the Golding one was more of a swap. I know we paid for him.
For who? Dewsbury Hall?
No, I know we paid for him, but it was like we'll give you 30 mil, but we'll take 5 million out of that 30 mil to pay for.
But it doesn't make sense. I'd rather put that 5 million into a different.
I would rather just give him 30 mil or even 25 and just you can keep Golding and we can get someone else for the money. But I feel like they wanted to get rid of someone and make the deal a bit cheaper in a way. So that's maybe why they gave us someone like Golding. And again, we didn't even see him on the bench last night. So that just shows you another reason.
I've heard rumours that he wasn't happy about not being featured in the team. But like you said, same with Ockley. I know he played yesterday. I just think it's a massive waste of money, when you look at the centre-backs we already have at the club. And we've not sold any of them. If we brought in Ockley and you said, but we didn't re-sign Vestergaard or we're selling Fies, I'd be like, okay, well, we needed a replacement, but we didn't. And I think the striker who we did need to replace, we just haven't done. We've got rid of Nacho on free, which, so I think myself and Simon in one of our group chats, Simon Mack, who's been on the show before, we said, if you're not going to bring anyone in, then re-sign Nacho, because he's technically, I know we paid for him, but he technically will be free, a free player.
He's gone to Sevilla.
Well, yeah, I'm saying he would have been.
I thought you said go sign him again now. I was like, no, you can't do that.
Obviously, I'm saying when his contract will run out, we should have re-signed him.
Yeah, I get you.
But obviously, at the time, I was like, well, let him go. We'll bring in a new striker. But if 2 days before the window ends, I'm here saying, for God's sake, why didn't we sign Iheanacho back up?
I think if we look at it now and if in the next 3 days, if we did buy a striker in
Well,
that,
technically 2 days. If I don't
Yeah,
know about
sorry,
when the
yes.
window ends. If Scott says 11 p.m., I'll trust the random viewer rather than
okay, in
because
2
he's probably
days,
got more knowledge.
in 2 days, if we do
Yeah.
buy a striker, would you say you are happy with this transfer window and the fact of yes, this guy and then the striker might be like a quick buy and a like crap. We're rushing things now.
This guy's obviously he's heavily rated. The numbers have gone. We offer. I think some of the numbers have been weird. We offered 16 million euros. They rejected it and said no, 27 million euros, and we found common ground at 20 million euros with a 15% sell-on clause. I don't know if I'm happy with him. I think it's riskful. It's very risky to sign someone like him. You know, we've been in that position before where we have signed, you know, all these like Merezes, Kantes, Vardys. Who are they? I mean, this guy's got
He's exciting.
Kante was what, 500 million, same with Perez. Whereas this guy, oh no, Kante was about 5 million, wasn't he? But Perez was half.
I think the one thing with this guy is I think as much as his stats, people are saying, oh, he's not good enough for the price, but I feel like he's a different sort of level to someone like Sewell in a way that there's so much maybe expectation or so much hype around this guy to be like, somehow we've got him in a way.
Well, I think he won Belgium Young Player of the Year last season. So he's got something about him. Obviously, the Belgium League is like, you know, probably comparing it to Championship, very low-end Championship. We're probably looking more like at the overall scale. So it's hard to judge. They rate him. They've bought him, and you know we'll see how he does. Only time will tell, really, and I think most fans, like you say now, we're going to want a striker. Do I think we've had a good window? No, I think we've
not even if we bring a striker in who you'd say is a decent level.
I'm basing it on right now because if we bring a striker in, you know, my opinion will change. But we're not even linked to a striker. So
no, I get you. We have been linked to strikers in the past, as in like the last.
But again, we were linked to Holjet from Bayer Leverkusen on loan, and
you might not even get this guy at this point.
Well, it's just like I said, we were linked to him 2 weeks ago, and then that folded through. It's almost like Rudkin spat his dummy out and gone, well, we can't sign this guy, so I'm not going to sign anyone. Yeah, because you know we know we needed a striker, but we've just when a couple of them fold through, it looks like we've gone Mardy and not signed anyone. I'd probably rate this window. I'm going to judge it on 5 out of 10. I think we've added depth to the team. I don't think we've replaced anyone good compared to last season. I think, you know, when you look at the depth we've had, a lot of them Premier League quality. I think you said like Pratt, Iheanacho, a lot of those players, you know, that we've just let go for free, I think have been a way better quality than what we've brought in and what we've got already. I just think the players, obviously, I think they needed to go because I think they were toxic and the atmosphere was toxic. They weren't happy at the club. They were on a lot of money and, you know, they were just running their contracts out, taking the big wage and go play football somewhere else at a lower quality or a European level where the standards are just different. I think we brought in some okay players. I think, like I said, we've wasted money on players. I give it a 5 out of 10, really, personally.
Yeah, I think I need to see this guy play before we see anything special. Again, I didn't think Buonanotte was going to be anything great. Yes, he's not had the most amazing starts, but his debut was pretty good. And obviously, you can't really judge him on 2 games. But I want to see what this guy has got to offer.
Yeah, we'll get a few more comments.
Yeah, Alex here does say we need to look at left back. See, I don't think that's much of a concern. Again, yes, Justin had a bit of a stinker against Fulham.
Left back.
No, but with Christensen and JG as the backup, I don't think we need a third choice. Surely, we have got Thomas as well, which again played last night, and
I think our defense is fine. I think that a lot of errors on Fulham did come from personal changes, but this is where, you know, a lot of us probably saying Justin did a couple of mistakes against Fulham that cost us a couple of crucial goals. Put Pereira back in then, you know, rotate that team around or put Justin at left back and put Pereira in at right back. I think the defence, you know, like I said, the centre backs, left back, right back, and even the midfielder now, we've got a lot of options where we can rotate. I think it's just that
main point.
Left wing, right wing, striker and attacking midfielder. Obviously, if we bring in this Khannouss, that's, you know, there's your attacking mid options sorted.
It's just a striker, mate.
I think it is just a striker now.
That's what I'm saying. If we do get the striker in, we've covered all the areas that we need
an Iheanacho-esque striker to come in and challenge Vardy's spot. Because as much as I love Vardy, I think he knows it himself. He can't run around for 90 minutes a game. You know,
if he doesn't start, you know he's going to come off the bench. That's the difference. So
yeah, Alex, I've got nothing wrong with Vardy. I think he's a great striker. I just think we all know that he's getting a bit old.
Yeah.
And obviously it takes it out on these players where they know, we've heard that he's had to do a match and then a few days off training. That's just how his routine is. And, greatest ever Leicester City player ever, Jamie Vardy is. So
Yeah.
we'll keep trying to get him as much out of him as we can.
What a name, Bin Little. Don't know how much about this Khannouss guy, but highlights, he looks like he's very one-footed.
It's better than the other player that we haven't signed that's no-footed because we've not brought anyone in.
Yeah. Phil Upton here says Chowdhury was good value last night when he came on.
Yeah, it's Tranmere.
Yeah, I was going to say it's League Two.
You're not going to take anything
Same with
away
what
from
Nick
last
said.
night's game.
Same with what Nick said. AU had a good game against League Two. Should have been nowhere near the starting 11 in the Prem. Again, he's a good substitute player for me. I don't think he's a starter.
Isn't that a bit contradicting though? How does that make sense? I had a good game
against League Two.
Yeah, but he had a good game. So Harry Winks had a good game. Does that mean he shouldn't be anywhere near the Premier League team? What's the logic?
Maybe.
That doesn't really make sense to me.
Maybe. Josh Preston says Mahrez-esque. Maybe. Khannouss is that. He's not a winger.
I've not seen much of him. I can't lie. I've not seen much of him. It's a fairly fresh rumour over the past couple of days.
Kian says we'll have loads of Moroccan fans now as well. Of course we will.
Hey, people rated Fabrizio said he's a good player. They said he's highly rated. Like I said, a different calibre in the Premier League. We'll see how he does. I mean, like I say, he's already in a blue shirt there, so he'll be used to the colour of the shirt. We'll see how it goes, really. I mean, I guess we'll end it because this is probably the second to last video you're going to watch and is doing a transfer rumour. I can only imagine that the next time we'll be going live is when we sign a striker, if we sign a striker, on transfer news. So, really, who would you like to see us bring in as probably the final player after this one? If we were to bring,
I think
one more player in.
I think out of all the players available that I could choose from, I think the main one would probably be the Greek guy from Panathinaikos. I wouldn't be able to say his name, but he scores goals for fun. Again, these sort of players that haven't been Prem proven, but they know where the goal is. That's the main thing. Whatever level you are, obviously own the name scholars as well. That sort of player. You're a championship level player, but you know where the goal is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what league they're in, as long as they know how to score a goal.
It is a little bit embarrassing that Southampton and Ipswich both. You probably would argue have made some pretty good business for clubs that. But I mean, we won the league, and we know that the financial situation isn't good. But with the selling Dewsbury Hall and the rumoured 50 million we had already to spend on players, it's a weird one. We'll get the last few comments in, Reedy, before we do end the show here. Let's have a look.
Brian here says Morris from Luton did well last year. Again, that's the difference from what I was saying. He's a player that was in the Prem and barely scored for Luton. You want somebody who, yes, he might not be Prem proven, but he knows where the goal is, and easily they'll get more than 10 goals a season just because of how good they are in a way. I know you can't buy high quality set of strikers for cheap, but I'm saying there's certain players around that will score goals for either way.
I mean, Ryan's saying I would be ahead of Bobby as Mavididi does. Yeah, interesting about Mavididi. We don't really know why.
Well, I think I watched Mavididi last night, and I think he looked a lot better than both of the wingers we have.
Yeah, people.
I know it was only Tranmere. So.
People were saying his attitude was a little bit stinky. I think last night, which is, I think, typical Mavididi, really. But yeah, like I said, you can't really take anything away from Tranmere. The only thing I'll take away is the fact that Mavididi started and Pereira started, which makes me think they're both not going to start for Villa because, it tends to be how it works, isn't it? They're two big players that played a good portion of last night's game.
Yeah.
Which is a bit of a shame. I'm not really sure why Mavididi doesn't get a look in. Again, him and Pereira, they must be doing something wrong in training.
Well, again, Jake just on the left says it was Tranmere, but I did feel like Pereira had a good game in that team as well. More attacking. He basically won as a penalty, which again it is only Tranmere, but he is getting up the pitch, which we want to see him more. So. Well, maybe not, but I'm just saying that players had a chance to play, and maybe it gives Cooper a chance to want to play them over the players who have been playing the last two games. Like I say, you've got JJ at right back. Maybe you do switch in Pereira.
I think we're due for Dorco. It's just never.
Yeah, we're not paying 300 grand a week.
Ironically, we'll be going to the team we'll be playing on Saturday. That's his level, and that's our level. We're bottom three, and we're fighting a top 4 team.
Yeah.
Villa are going to be the toughest game we've played so far, by the way. They're going to be 10 times harder than Spurs.
Yeah.
Definitely going to be tougher than Fulham. So we really need to have some consistency and hopefully have a fucking game plan. Jesus Christ, do we need a game plan? Because we had nothing against Fulham.
It says deal not even done. Come back. No, that's all about rumors, mate. It's all about.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're not the official club. If you want to listen to the official club say nothing, then go for it. They say nothing. We announce it and obviously get our views and comments in where you can say your views. You know, if you don't want to say anything, then go and follow the official club because that's where you can have absolutely no say because they don't let you.
Yeah. And then the last comment before we move on, Domino Kids says, get Chris Wood back from Forest, has experience and has been delivered target man with Khannouss behind him, dangerous. You know what? As much as he's not a high level striker, I'd take him back.
Too old.
I'd take him back.
He's too old now. I know Jamie Vardy's old, but you know Jamie Vardy's got the history behind him to keep doing it. Woods just.
Why would he leave? Why would he leave Forest? Because he might support Leicester. I don't know.
He's been a very average player for Forest, hasn't he? So
yeah,
you know, not really. It's one I think we should bring back into the club. But really, we'll end it there. Thank you all for watching this video. We will plug our Patreon as we always do in these shows. So if you want to go supporters for extra exclusive content, ex-player interviews, Blue Fan Man interviews, and monthly giveaways, which this month until the end of September. So you need to get your subscriptions in on the £3 pack for 3 tickets, £6 for 6 tickets, or £10 for 10 tickets, and you'll be in for a chance to win this shirt, which Reeedy is going to pull up.
I love doing this.
And look, you can see it's there. It's official. It's signed by Harry Winks, and you got to subscribe to our Patreon, guys. One of the packs to win this. It's worth a go, if you ask me. I might put myself in there. I know I probably should.
If you don't win it, we'll win it.
Yeah. So. If you don't go and subscribe to it, then we'll have it.
But yeah, appreciate it, guys. Again, make sure to check out us on all socials to make sure when we go live next. And like Sam said, most likely, if it is possible, we will be live when we do sign a striker. Hopefully.
Probably won't happen.
We probably won't see us again.
Probably like that. Probably like us to go back to our old, won't they?
Yeah. And then Ty says, love the show. For the love of God, fix the mic static. I don't know the mic static, but anyway, we'll have to check that. Right, we'll catch you on.
For exclusive extra shows, behind the scenes, competitions and podcasts, subscribe to Leicester Fan TV today on Patreon.